We got to talk about what was an epic national championship game. It was a very close, tightly played game. Houston led essentially the entire game. Houston, they were up by 12 in the first half. You were playing suffocating defense. You were making your threes. It really felt like they were going to win comfortably at the end of this one, but that wasn't the case. Houston, at the end of this one, they just could not generate enough offense. They could not score. And Florida, they capitalized. They made the big shots. Clayton Jr., they had stifled him all game long. Then he comes alive. And then all of a sudden, the Florida Gators get a massive stop there in the last possession of the game, and they win the national championship. And it's just wild to think that Florida team, they led for a grand total of 1 minute and 4 seconds. 1 minute and 4 seconds, and they were able to come back victorious. And I think that you got to give credit to the defense, because Florida, they weren't the team that was necessarily known for their defense. They had done a great job all season coming back in the playoffs. They were just a team that you just could not kill. They're the only national champion over the last 20 years to overcome a deficit of 9+ points in the Elite Eight, national semifinal, and the national championship. It is the never say die Gators. And I think the last possession, we'll kind of rewind, but I kind of want to start there. I mean, Houston was in control. 31-28 halftime lead. They had held Clayton scoreless through the first half, and he was averaging 24.6 points per game in his last 5 NCAA tournament games. It looked like an ultimate win. And then he hits a free throw with 14:57, and he comes alive. He got some big shots down the stretch. He ends up finishing with just 11 points. If I told you that you stopped William Clayton Jr. and you held him to 11 points, you would feel pretty good about that win. He also had 7 boards, 5 assists, and he also was a big reason why Sharp wasn't able to get that shot up there in the last moments of that game. And that defense for Florida, they came alive. Houston was up 45-34 after a Sharp free throw with 14:07. From there, Florida held Houston to 3 points in the final 6:54 of the game. They end up cutting it to 48-45. And then they end up tying with a free throw at 48-48. Couple possessions later, Clayton, he does it again. With Houston up 51-48, he goes to the basket, he drives, he gets the and one, he finishes through contact, he draws the foul. It comes up massive. And then with less than 4 minutes left, Houston in another 3-point lead. Houston's on top 60-57. This time Clayton, he just buries an incredible 3-pointer. He takes the pass off the screen. He pulled up and he made a 3. And it was only 3 he made in 7 attempts on the night. It was huge. That kept the pressure on Houston all night. And then the final play of the game. Florida won playing Houston's game. Florida limited Houston to 34.8% shooting from the field, 24% shooting from beyond the arc. Houston was just 6 for 25 from distance. And Cryer had 19 points and 6 rebounds, lead the Cougars, but he went 6 for 18 from the field. And that final possession, after Florida goes up, Houston has a chance, trailing by 2 points. He had over 20 seconds left, and they weren't able to get a shot off. They did not get a shot off in that situation. They were trying to set Muzan up for a 3-point shot. He thinks he was going to grab it and travel. I mean, it was just terrible execution. Great defense by Florida, and an absolutely heartbreaking loss for the Houston Cougars, who now have not won a national championship in their program's history, and they just crumbled late. But here was Kelvin Sampson after the game talking about the sequence where Houston wasn't able to get a shot off.
At the end, you got to get a shot. That's you got to do better than that.
Coach, next one's up front to the left. Aaron
Beard with the AP. Kelvin, what were you hoping to get out of that last play?
Yeah, we have a set where it's a stagger gate, and we thought if we could get Emmanuel to shot fake and get downhill. I have to look back at the film, and I don't know if the ball slipped out of his hands or Clayton had his back. Yeah, they probably should have shot faked that. That's both those guys, Richard and Martin, both really good defensively. Clayton made a great play on that, but that's why you got to shot fake and get in the paint. Two's fine. J1 has been awesome all year. Tonight was not his night. Florida was really physical with the way they were chucking and bumping when he was going, and he had a lot of balls that just fell right off the rim, seems like.
So what he's saying there was 100% true, but Kelvin Sampson, who's supposed to be this great head coach, which he absolutely is, he watched his offense crumble worse than Duke did against him a few nights before. That was Houston's fourth turnover in the final 121. They had 3 turnovers in the first half combined. They absolutely crumbled when it mattered most. 3 possessions and 0 shots in the last minute. 3 possessions, 0 shots. If I get a shot up and it clanks back rim, it airballs, it rolls around, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Shooters shoot. You miss shots, but to not get 1 shot, that is what would haunt me for the rest of my life. What if it went in? What if a prayer was answered? They don't even get to have that. Just an absolute insane conclusion to a game. And yeah, you got to feel bad for the Houston Cougars. But yeah, I mean, how do you not get a shot up there in that final possession?
Oh, man, I feel so bad for the player. I mean, Sharp, I know that's going to haunt him for a long time. I know that sucks. I honestly, just as a former athlete, I feel for him. You got to just get something at the rim, maybe a rebound. You just got to get something at the net and just kind of pray. Listen, I am kind of smoking my cigars and drinking my Saratoga water because I am 2 for 2 on national champions. But I will say this. Houston letting go of the rope like that, I mean, D-Mac, we talked about that defense. They got after Florida to start the game. I really thought it was going to be an eventual rout, but this is a lot like the Duke-Houston game. You linger, you let a team linger and linger and linger, and then, like I said yesterday,
right.
You got to put the nail in the coffin. If you don't put the nail in the coffin, then they're not dead yet.
Florida's wobbling. And you just needed to throw a little haymaker, and then you had gotten the knockout blow. But what really stuns me is Walter Clayton Jr., his resilience, having a bad game, not scoring, not just the points that he scored there late, but if you go back and watch the replay, Sharp was open, wide open. Clayton covers like 15 feet in 1 second to get there. I mean, that was one of the best closeouts I've ever seen, ever, at any level.
Yeah.
But I will say, that was easily the worst possession to lose a national championship in the history of college basketball. So we had an all-time choke by Duke, and I think the chokeness of Duke rubbed off onto Houston, and they carried it into this game.
Yeah.
And Houston was like, hey, you think that's a good choke? Hold my beer, Duke. And look, Duke played bad. Houston played bad. Florida's the resilient team, though. You got to give Florida a lot of credit. You got to get, the Gators.
The gauntlet they went through.
The gauntlet, beating Auburn, Texas Tech. I mean, you're talking about 3 seeds. UConn, and UConn only lost by 2 points against them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Florida, they are the national champions. They're now the only school with 3 football and 3 men's basketball titles in the last 30 years. So give them a lot of credit. I don't think anyone saw this national championship run coming from them to start the season. But here was Walter Clayton Jr. after the game talking about the Florida win and just his tournament.
Walter,
Boom.
because the most outstanding player here in San Antonio, Walter Clayton Jr.
Appreciate you. Hey, man, Gator Nation, man, we appreciate y'all. All the hard work we put in together. You know what, that came to fruition, man. We done did it. So, man, shout out Gator Nation, man. Go Gators. The boys stay hot.
Walter, how do you navigate a game like this? You're coming off back-to-back 30-point games. And then you don't get a bucket until 8 minutes to go in the game. How did you stay positive? How did you navigate this night?
Man, we've been saying it all year, man. Our motto is we all can go, man. We got a team full of guys that could go. It ain't just by me. We got multiple guys on this go that can go get a bucket and do anything. So my team held me down until I was able to put the ball in the basket. Shout out to them boys.
Congratulations to you. Congratulations on that little daughter of yours, too, as well. I know this is going to be a great celebration for you tonight.
Gator boys stay hot, man.
Gator boys stay hot. So, and then here was some more post-game reaction from Juwan.
Coach Sampson has been everything to me. From Coach Sampson down to grandkids. Everybody played a part in me being here for 6 years. And I wanted it so bad for him. So bad. And it hurts because I can't do it next year. I can't put myself in position to do it next year. This will be my last time wearing my jersey, and I feel terrible. I told the younger guys, to the returners, to remember this feeling. So when you in this moment again, or you're in this situation again, you'll be on top.
Man, the pain in his eyes. I mean, you know how badly they wanted it for their guy. I mean, that just hurts. I mean, when you see college players lose, I think it just even hits way more different than pro players, because a guy like that's not going to be back. And he even said he's going to kind of tell the young guys to remember this feeling. And hopefully Houston can get over the hump. But they had a great opportunity. And the refs, it did become the ref show a little bit after that technical foul. 11 calls against the Cougars and just one against the Gators. I did think that, to give Florida a lot of credit. They made the shots. Now,